What here?
You can stay on for a little bit from the start.
Cool.
Yeah, we've got a bit of time now.
Do you want to share the link out on our page, Palmer?
What here?
Yeah.
You can stay on for a little bit from the start. Yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah, we've got a bit.
It's nice to have a bit of volume.
Do. So we are live. It's a very, very good cold evening from Tipton, Scunthorpe and Alan's here as well from Glasgow. But our coverage, we say coverage, we're going to be talking you through tonight's Premiership Playoff Semi-Final 1, a leg 1 between the True Mix Ipswich Witches and the Watling Leicester Lions. And a very exciting Premiership clash. Tonight, as mentioned, joined as always by Mr. Dylan Hodgetts. How are we doing this evening, sir?
Cold, man. It definitely feels like autumn's here.
It'll soon be Christmas.
Only 2.5 months, I figured out earlier, because quick maths.
That's depressing.
It is a little bit, isn't it? Halloween first, though, which is where Alan excels.
Yeah, Alan certainly exceeds himself at that time of year.
So, before we start on the stream as a whole, we said on yesterday's watch along we were going to announce the first sponsored rider of D&D Media for 2025. Parva, over to you, son.
So yeah, we can now confirm that we will be yet again on board with Leo Dugmore Racing. Leo, who rides the Revy bikes at Birmingham and Leicester and places amongst that, and we're very, very proud and privileged to be a part of Leo's racing career, and we're happy to be a part of it for third season running, I do believe.
Second, maybe? I don't know. Whenever they started. Second year, third year, one of them.
One of them.
Years go too fast.
Yes, they do.
And a new logo for this season, designed by D&D, which is always good fun.
Of course.
But yeah, it's good to be back on with Leo again. I always say to Andy, Leo's the coolest 5-year-old I've ever known. I don't know many of them, but he's the coolest one I know. So
But yeah,
and from our side, it's really good to get our first sponsorship done, and then we can sort of sit and talk about who else is going to be joining or retained from this year.
Yeah, it's safe to say discussions have kind of started already regarding Team D&D for 2025. Yeah, just keeping an eye out, but there will be announcements, graphics, as and when we've decided who we're signing.
Andy Douglas just commented, "We're delighted and honoured to have you on board with 3 funky coloured hearts."
What a boy.
And now the admin and that's out of the way, we want to start obviously with a good announcement. Now we can look at tonight's meeting, Premiership Playoffs first leg, and it's a sign it's the playoffs because I think pretty much everywhere in the country today has had some rain.
That, and it is very cold.
It's very cold. Should we have a little? Should we have a look back at the last few meetings between these teams first that British Speedway put out earlier today before we have a look through the teams? Because obviously with Eurosport and Discovery, it starts a little bit later than
It's a bit
BSN.
later, doesn't it? Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
have a
why
look.
not?
You can whack that up and read us through that.
Need to find it first of all.
Always prepared. And while Palmer does
go.
that, we will have a very, very quick chinwag with Alan about the meeting that we watched along to yesterday.
Found it.
Out, you got about a minute. Reactions to that meeting yesterday and Glasgow missing out on the playoffs for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, was a bit gutting for us this season. It's not been the best season. I know Kevin Brown's found it tough managing a team that's not been quite there this season, but they've given it their best, and I know the boys tried, but it just wasn't to be this year. And I know yesterday's match would have meant a lot to the fans, at least finally getting another win at home. Granted, we didn't have the full 7 boys there, but I'm sure we put on a decent show for them, and it was a good match. Oxford gave us a run for our money, and yeah, certainly will be an exciting winter to see who we sign up for the team next year and try and get back into the playoff run again.
And if you like something like Alan just talking there is plans for us to do something a little bit like that through the winter, which we'll elaborate on our last watch along of the season. But for now, Palmer, let's have a look through the history of those two teams in the top flight.
Yes, that's a very good idea if you ask me. Just let me just mute the Discovery stream as it's just about to begin. Oh, what a lovely blue and white screen that is.
I'm glad you reminded me because I hadn't even put mine on yet.
So these two first faced this season in the Knockout Cup, with the Witches winning at Leicester 48-42, and the Witches also winning the second leg at Foxhall 47-43. The first league meeting happened between the two teams away at Leicester, in which the Witches won 47-43. Again, in the return leg, the Ipswich Witches won 53-37. So the League B campaign began at Leicester for these two teams, with the Lions itching out the Witches 53-37. And then, obviously, the Lions, not too long ago, won at Ipswich 36-54, and I believe we may even have done a watch-along to that one. I could be very wrong, though. But overall, over the 6 meetings these two teams have had, Ipswich have won 275-265. Although that all means nothing when it comes to these playoffs.
And I'd imagine most of those meetings, one of, if not both of, Jason Doyle and Emil Sayfudinov were there, neither of which are tonight.
Yeah, I think the final two meetings between these two teams didn't have Emil or Doyley.
Is that the ones where Leicester had a little bit more success?
Yes.
Yeah. And you do have to feel bad for Ipswich. They topped the table for much of the season. They had probably the best top two in the league, and they both just got injured at the wrong time. Obviously, Doyley missing pretty much the entire second half of the season, and Emil getting hurt. Came back in Poland yesterday, but not quite fit enough to return to British soil. And to be fair, British tracks, especially Vauxhall, are a hell of a lot more technical than the likes of Torren.
Yeah, old Ipswich. It's a little bit tight, isn't it?
Just a touch.
But,
Shall we have a quick look at the two team lineups while we're at it?
Well, while we're here, we may as well.
Do you want to run through Ipswich first because of their number one guest is somebody you're a particular fan of?
I'll go through the witches line at their team manager this evening. Happy as ever, Richie Hawkins. Their rising star at number 7, Daniel Thompson, had a blinding season this season. Another man that's had a blinding season this year, he's your friend, not mine, Ashton Bowden at number 6. Skipper at number 5, Danny King. Had a bit of an inconsistent season, to be fair, as Danny. At number 4, someone you're very familiar with, Mr. Dylan, their guest, Tom Brennan. Keenan Rue, a rider that's rapidly on the upgrades at number 3. At number 2 is my friend, not yours, Adam Ellis. And at number 1, he is the GOAT, Jankovic, or Strawberry Jam, whatever you want to call him.
Palmer, I think it's a giveaway who our rider to watch is for Ipswich with the picture of him there. But why is our rider to watch Keenan Rue for this one?
So, my reasoning purely is because he's a rider that's virtually on the up and up and up. He had a terrific meeting here on Thursday in the Knockout Cup. I want to say he got about 12 points, but I've slept many, many hours since then. And to be quite honest with you, when I was doing the graphic, he's the first rider that I had a picture of that was acceptable for the graphic.
Yeah, pretty much like you, Keenan Rue. I think we've both agreed on this before now this year. He had a bit of a disappointing first half. He dropped a reserve where he really showed his true potential and the confidence that comes with it. He's moved back into the main body and he's almost carried on and he's doing what I think we expected him to do this year.
He's certainly starting to show glimpses of brilliance at the minute, isn't he?
And the opposition tonight, the Leicester Lions, their manager is Stuart Dixon, somebody that myself and Alan in particular are very fond of and know quite well from his time managing our respective clubs. Their rising star at number 7, returning from injury, is Sam Hagan. Lewis Kerr guests at number 6, who rides for Stuart Dixon's Berwick team in the Championship. It's rider replacement at number 5 for the injured Ryan Douglas, who misses the meeting with an infected arm after a burn sustained a few weeks back. Luke Becker rides at number 4, who's been in sublime form since the Speedway Nations. Sam Masters rides at number 3, who's just gone about his business this season. Richard Lawson, one of the best number 2s in the entire league, in my opinion. And at number 1, it's the now Grand Prix star till the end of the season, Max Frick. Palmer, the reasons why Max Frick is our man to watch.
Very similar to Keenan Rue. He was the first Leicester rider that I had a picture of in our photo editing software, so I just thought we'll use him. Max is a genuinely nice lad, and he's one of them number ones. Is slightly is underrated in my opinion. He's just sort of gone about his business, gone almost under the radar to an extent. He's just kind of got his head down and got stuck in and just done his job.
Should we just quickly find out, just out of curiosity, who Alan's riders to watch are for this? Because obviously me and you both agreed on R2 for this one, but Alan won't be involved in the commentary or anything tonight, but while we've got him here, we may as well find out his riders to watch.
Well, I'm going to go to it for two completely different riders than you guys.
Of course
No,
you
no,
are.
of course I am. So for Leicester, I'm going to go for Dan Thompson.
That's Ipswich mush.
Dan Thompson rides for
Ipswich, sorry,
Ipswich.
Ipswich. I knew I would say the wrong team in my mind. I had the right rider, but the wrong team in my head. Ipswich. I'm going for Dan Thompson. This could be a long night. He's been a very good ride. He's had a very good season this season, and if he can keep up the form that he had in the last few meetings that I've seen him racing in, then he'll definitely be one to watch tonight around Ipswich. And for Leicester, I'm going to go for Sam Masters, being an absolutely flying form this season, and I'm sure he'll be able to pile in the points for Leicester as one of their main heat leaders in their team.
And I'm certain it's nothing to do with the fact he looked really accomplished around Ashfield yesterday.
Well, there's that as well, but he has looked really good this season.
We'll have a quick score prediction as well, fellas. We'll start with Alan.
I'm gonna go 50-40 to Leicester.
Palmer?
47-43 to the Witches.
I'm going to say 48-42 to Ipswich. I think it's absolutely paramount that Ipswich take a lead from this meeting. I think at reserve, Ashton and Dan Thompson are a better reserve pairing than Louis Kerr and Sam Hagan, in my opinion. And as we all know, especially me and Palmer, who've had it drummed into us numerous times, reserves win your meetings.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yankovic, an interesting one, coming in from Ipswich's biggest rivals, Kings Lynn.
And it is a weird one. I mean, Ipswich could virtually have got anybody in for Doyley and Emil, to be fair. But obviously we all know rumours and everything are spouting about, and if rumours that are being spread about happen to be true, then it's sort of understandable why the Witches have gone for him.
And he's struggled at Grand Prix level, but more often than not at British level, he has been every bit a heat leader that he comes in to do the job at tonight.
He's done a decent heat leader's job for Kings Lynn. Obviously, everybody knows I am a big Yankovic fan.
No, really?
I know it's shocking, but I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the guy, but I don't quite think he's number one caliber yet. Over here, anyway.
And we've just had to look at the table on the screen, which has now gone off, so we won't talk about that. But Sheffield finished top of the pile, with Leicester second, Bellevue third, and Ipswich dropped to fourth after topping the table for the majority of the season. With Oxford fifth, Kings Lynn sixth, and Birmingham seventh.
If it wasn't for Phil Morris intervening, this would be Ipswich versus Sheffield again, I do believe.
Yeah. And they've got their reasons for the way they've done it. I think everybody's got a differing opinion. I'd assume there was probably a little bit of pressure put on by Eurosport and Discovery so that they knew where their teams were going to be, and who'd want to be Phil Morris in this situation is damned if he does and damned if he don't.
It's one of them, and I can confirm. Just been told in a group chat that at the moment on screen there is an interview with Richie Hawkins, who has basically confirmed that Tyrone has blocked Emil Seifert off from racing in the playoffs over here, to the surprise of no one.
I get the feeling he was maybe rushed back a little bit to race in Poland, to be honest, and I don't think he's fully... There's no way after a crash like that you can be fully fit 4 or 5 weeks later. There's no way. I think with the amount of money that Poland pay and the money that Emil's on over there, I think it's no surprise that Poland and Torren wanted him to come in and race. He looked good yesterday, but it's easy to do it on a big wide open track where you've got room for error. There's nothing in this. If you make a mistake, you're going around on the concrete.
Yeah. I mean, did you see that movie made yesterday?
The one where he cut back
Massive.
to avoid his teammate coming across him.
That was
That
class.
was a beautiful move. And Tom Brennan, you can see in the pits there wearing his pool Kevlars tonight.
Fair
And
play to him.
the two captains talking to Scotty. While we've got a minute, should we just quickly pop ourselves on a quick interval?
Let's have a quick 5 minutes and go on. So this is it then. The playoffs are about to begin. Big week of playoffs this for Premiership and the Championship.
And all riders are now at the start, so we'll run through the lineup for heat number 1 of 30 across the next 72 hours or so. Going off the inside gate in blue for inside in yellow, Richard Lawson. Gate 2 in blue is Adam Ellis. Gate 3 in white, Max Frick. And off the outside in red is Jan Kvek.
That it is.
An history making for us as well. This is our first Discovery / Eurosport meeting watch along, so let's see how different this is to BSN.
Yeah, we just might still be on air within the next 4 hours.
Only that long?
At a push. Maybe 5.
Who likes a quick speedway meeting anyway?
Exactly.
Don't show this fella filming the racing. You're not supposed to do that. Tut tut.
No, do that at red car, you get told off.
It's a rule apparently in the rule book. You're not supposed to live stream or record racing. What on earth is going on here? Red lights are on.
So, Wayne Jarvis.
Something's going on the first turn.
Oh.
That's where the start marshal was pointing anyway.
It would be nice for you. Oh, the air fence has deflated.
Oh God!
Just needs a little bit of petrol.
Here we go. Starters we need to go on. Anyone who tells me speedway is not a professional sport. Yankovic, like, do you not put petrol in your air fences here? Rush, come on, hurry up. We don't get this at King's Lynn. I'm a Grand Prix superstar, you know. He's just living his best life, but look at the poo-housery of that. Guesting for Ipswich wearing King's Lynn Kevlars. It's as bad as riding for Edinburgh and guesting for Oxford in Edinburgh race suit.
Fun times.
Them starts are very grippy.
Oh. Richard Lawson there, looking like a horsey, ready to be released. At Market Razor Racecourse.
Abby talking to Danny King. But Danny, professional sport this? Absolutely. We don't have air fences that don't have fuel in. Anyone that says otherwise is lying.
We could only apologise because this will be the interview of the year that has absolutely 0 sense because they've got 0 brain cells between them.
Good to see Jordan Jenkins in the background there.
Yeah, good to see his, I believe, did he go in today or is it tomorrow?
Today, to see what the damage was and if he'd be able to race again this year.
So, I don't think he's said anything, has he, about...
I don't think so, I ain't saw anything. Anyone that's interested, Adam Ellis is the rider with the helmet cam on that very, very nice helmet.
Nice helmet, that, innit?
It's very good.
It's best not fall off and damage it, or else I might cry.
And not damage himself because you like Mr. Ellis, don't you?
Yeah, he's a genuinely good guy and someone I do consider a good mate within this sport.
Same lineup, same gates, same riders, take 2 with a fully inflated air fence.
I mean, it always helps if the air fence is inflated.
Does, done it, otherwise we end up like America where they don't have air fences and it's survival of the fittest.
That's what's been... This is what the Ipswich 16 lapper should be. Survival of the fittest. Just get all 16 riders out there, 16 laps, survival of the fittest.
And this will be survival of the fittest. Race 1 of 30, Palmer. Let's crack on.
Well, here we go. Then the tapes rising on heat number 1. It's a very good start for the inside there for Richard Lawson. Jankovic now looking to come round the outside there of the lawman, and he's done so nicely. Max Frick at the back, putting a challenge now on Adam Ellis. Adam forcing Max wide there, and Adam now looking to challenge Richard Lawson in the second place. But this is a very, very good start. This is the start of the Ipswich which is needed, and yeah, Frick struggling towards the rear of the field. So shout out to Sam Leeson, who said Frick was going to go through the card tonight. As we go into lap number 3 of the opening heat. Ellis still putting Lawson under a little bit of pressure. That first and second turn looks quite bumpy there, to be fair. Jankovic is away, he's gone, which is absolutely pleasing to see. To be fair, I wish the start match would start like actually by the start-finish line and not half a mile away. But it's going to be a very, very good, pleasing start here for the Witches as they take a 4-2 in heat number 1.
Ipswich fans will be sat there saying, call the meeting off now, forget the other 29 races, we'll just go through like this.
Yeah, that's it. We can't run on Thursday at Leicester. We can't run the other 14 heats tonight. That's it. Let's go.
And Leicester fans will be disappointed there. Max Frick did get the old heave-ho from Adam Ellis, but really never looked in contention anyway. So the result of heat number 1 was a win for the rider in red, Jankovic, second in yellow, Richard Lawson, and third in blue, Adam Ellis. Gives the Witches a 4-2 from the opener. And I think it's fair to say, Palmer, the Witches are definitely the favourites for heat 2 as well.
Yeah, it's very hard to see past them. To be fair, I think, obviously Dan's had a really, really good season. Ashton's on the up, and against Sam Hagen, who it's his first meeting back from injury. He's probably still going to feel second hand, and obviously with Lewis Kerr, the Leicester guest, who by his own right standards has probably had a below par season.
Oh, that's I don't think many people will argue with that. Very interesting to see the outside line working even as far as the first turn of the first race. That is unusual.
Isn't it?
See, Louis Kerr knowing the importance of the Kings Lynn and Ipswich rivalry, rocking up in his Berwick race suit tonight.
It kind of just fits in with the whole Leicester vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, Stuart Dixon, obviously the manager of Berwick as well. Is Lewis Kerr an improvement on Craig Cook?
No. I think personally, and I don't mean this, don't mean any disrespect to either of them. They're about on the same level. If I'm being honest, I think the only advantage here for Lewis Kerr is he had half a season here with Ipswich in 2016 before he got sacked.
Richie Hawkins has had an haircut for the occasion and he's not got an hat on.
Who says playoff speedway isn't like a romantic date? You've got to dress to impress.
And Ashton Bowden, the rider in red here, will come into this really high on confidence. Fantastic meeting on Friday at Redcar. Another good meeting yesterday at Glasgow. So the lineup for Heat 2 going off the inside gate in red is Ashton Bowden. Gate 2 in white, Lewis Kerr. Gate 3 in blue is Dan Thompson. And off the outside in yellow, Sam Hagen, the under-21 British champion.
And you've got to say both these Ipswich reserves, they're capable of beating any of the Lions 1-7 around this track, and that is a reason why I personally believe the Witches will be outright winners here this afternoon. Richie Hawkins has got a nice spot on his nose. For any spot pickers out there, contact Richie Hawkins. The tapes has risen then for heat number 2. It's a very good start there for Lewis Kerr, but he's battling with Ashton Bowden, but it's now Kerr that has the lead. Thompson now getting underneath his teammate there in the second place position, and the Witches will be relatively happy with a 3-all at the moment. Sam Hagen still struggling towards the rear of the field. The two Witches boys not giving up on Kerr at the moment, but Louis still, it's just a kind of just pulling away now from Dan. To be fair, Ashton's sitting there pretty in third place. He's not under any pressure from Sam Hagen at the moment, so it's a bit of a drawn out race. This one. Although Sam Hagen's getting quicker each lap, and Bowden looking down at his motor bicycle. Can Ashton just hold on for one more lap? I think he will. He's only got a couple of bends and half a home straight left to go. It's got to be a win for Lewis Curlow, and Dan Thompson takes the second place.
And that could have been carnage in that first turn. That was a very good motorcycling skills there from Ashton to keep it under control and not put himself and Louis Kerr in hospital.
Anybody'd think he's been doing that all his life.
So the result of Heat 2 was a win for the rider in white Lewis Kerr, second in blue Dan Thompson, and third in red Ashton Bowden. Points divided 3 apiece, and that makes the progressive scores 7 points to 5. And you've said this to me a couple of times now, as the move to Leicester almost derailed Sam Hagen's otherwise impressive season, both for individually, for Leicester and for Poole.
I think so, and as well for Sam at this current point of time, the lack of National League meetings that he's got for Bellevue. I know he's obviously got 2 this week because they're at Sheffield on Thursday and they're away at Edinburgh on Friday.
He won't be there, will he? Leicester will have the preference.
Oh yeah, I forgot Leicester at home on Thursday to these. Thanks for reminding me. They are some lovely backdrops there with the
They are, aren't they?
with the word playoffs on them.
And they've did you see the ones with the riders' faces on? The team line up faces on.
They look like the what they have at the gates at Redcar.
Hmm.
So obviously you've not been to Redcar.
No.
But at the entrance gate, they've got like 6 lampposts, and there's a big poster of Charles Wright on the entrance as you go through.
Oh, okay.
And it's got like the rider and like the name at the side. It is really, really cool, to be fair.
And Discovery have definitely put a lot of effort into this.
They've put a lot of money into Speedway over the past couple of years.
Their coverage isn't always the best. I don't think that's harsh or anything. I don't think, I think their coverage could be better, but they're certainly better than BT used to be.
I wouldn't quite say they were as good as Sky. I thought Sky was decent.
But
I don't think
was Speedway in a better state when Sky were around than it is nowadays, possibly.
But I think Eurosport is very good, or Discovery is very, very good coverage. It's not quite on BSN level, but BSN's a Speedway thing run by Speedway people in it.
Yeah, so the lineup for heat number 3, going off the inside gate in white for the Lions, is Sam Masters. Gate 2 in blue, the almost rolling guest, I suppose you'd call him, for Ipswich, Tom Brennan. Gate 3 in yellow for Leicester is Luke Becker, and off the outside in red is Keenan Rue. And we call Tom Brennan a rolling guest because Ipswich have announced he's their guest for all of their remaining meetings. Obviously, you can't make signings at this point in the season, but you can agree a deal where a rider will come in and guest.
Yeah, and Tom's had a really good season, to be fair. The tapes has risen in anyway for heat number 3. Tom made an absolute blinding start there, but it was Sam Masters that manages to get the lead. But the Witch is now looking to come up the inside of Sam Masters, and you could chuck a blanket over at the first 3 riders there. Luke Becker struggling towards the rear of the field, but it looks like another 3-all heat. Not even a heat advantage, this is it? But Brennan, it almost looks like he's having to pull the bike around this track, and I think it was similar on Thursday of last week, was it?
Yeah.
Keenan Rue doing a wheeler there off the second turn. Now I think there could be an issue with the second turn. To be fair, that might need addressing, but. Luke Becker's starting to put a bit of pressure on Keenan Rue. Tom Brennan's Sam Masters has packed up, and that has gifted the Witches a much-needed 5-1 heat advantage now. Masters must be devastated with that.
I want to see that start back because for me, Sam Masters had a nibble. It definitely looked like Sam Masters had a nibble from that inside camera angle that was right next to Sam. But you know, sometimes you do need a little bit of luck in the playoffs, and Ipswich have just had their first slice of it.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
The result of Heat 3, it was a win for the rider in blue, Tom Brennan, second in red, Keenan Root, and third in yellow, Luke Becker. Sam Masters retiring from the front. I really want to see that start again. No, it was just a good start. It looked like he had a little bit of a nibble from the inside angle.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it?
And that's, is this a chain maybe for Sam?
It's a chain or a puncher.
No, it could be, nah, it looks like a chain. Yeah, the sparks, that's a chain. He's fuming, and little bits of luck like that can decide meetings like this. Obviously, it's over 30 heats over the next few days, not 15. But you know that could come back to haunt Leicester.
And it's one of them, innit? You know, it's a good thing that this isn't the final.
And the rider replacement in white is Max Frick. Yeah, it is a good job. It's you can't really afford these kind of issues in the final, can you? And same as any sport, you're almost in the lap of the gods, and there is a reserve change as well. Lewis Kerr comes in to replace Sam Hagan. So Leicester really throwing everything at this one, really.
And obviously, playoffs are a two-legged tie, so no tacticals can be used, just reserve switches, and obviously the Lions operating rider replacement this evening.
Does rider replacement make them stronger than Dougie? Yeah.
I mean, all the top four of the Lions are they're capable of scoring double figures, and I think Dougie's also capable of scoring double figures. So it doesn't weaken them, but it doesn't necessarily strengthen them.
And it is actually Dougie's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Scunny legend! Please come back and sack off Poland.
Max Frick will be hoping for a better ride than first time out. Just got the old heave-ho from Adam Ellis in the third and fourth turn of the first lap. And never
could have
really
cleaned
made
his
up
suit
ground.
a little bit.
Yeah, he wouldn't have this in the Grand Prix.
So, well, in the GP you have to have two suits, don't you?
Yeah, the lineup for Heat 4 reserve change off gate number 1 in yellow is Lewis Kerr replacing Sam Hagan. Gate 2 in blue is Dan Thompson. The rider replacement for Leicester in gate 3 is Max Frick, and off the outside in red is Danny King. Started last week quite well, tailed off a little bit after his first couple of rides.
Needs a big meeting tonight.
You get the feeling that Ipswich fans are starting to just maybe have a little bit of their fill of Danny King.
I mean, I stood with the Ipswich fans at the cup final at Sheffield last week, and every single one of them wanted him out. And well, as you know, one of my very good friends is an Ipswich fan. Every week I get complaints about Danny King from her. So yeah, and it's the same at Redcar as well. He's very inconsistent there. So looking for a good start, and Tapes has risen. Away we go. Dan Thompson has made a beautiful start there, and Danny King joins him. Talk of the devil, and the devil produces. But Danny King now has the lead. Now he needs to team ride with Dan Thompson here. Otherwise, Frick's going to be up the inside there of Dan. It's not quite worked out for Max at the moment. He's trying his absolute hardest. Lewis Kerr struggling towards the rear of the field in this one. Dan Thompson, though, as we said, he is capable of beating anybody around this Ipswich circuit. He's come on massively since he joined the Witches midway through last season. Danny King, though, as a skipper, is not the best. He needs to team ride and not just ride for himself, especially in a meeting like this, because one mistake from Thompson and Max Frick will be through. If Danny King was looking after his teammate, Max probably wouldn't be able to get through. But as we go down the last a couple of corners then of this bend, and what a ride from Dan Thompson to keep a GP star behind him.
And that was all pretty much done from the start. To be fair, both the Ipswich boys made the trap. As you said in the race, Danny King not necessarily doing the team riding role. And just for argument's sake, imagine if both the Leicester boys had passed Dan Thompson. That's effectively a couple of points thrown away because of Danny King not team riding. But in the end, it wasn't really costly, and the result is a win for the rider in red, Danny King. Second in blue, Dan Thompson, and third in white, Max Frick. A 5-1 to Ipswich, and it's now 17 points to 7 after 4 heats. Dan Thompson's come of age this season.
He's been proven massively, hasn't he?
He's so good.
He's riding at a heat leader level at the championship. I believe he's also in the championship riders final this weekend.
Potentially, I would not be surprised. He's definitely been, other than Cavati's average at the start of the season, Dan Thompson across the entire season, he's certainly their highest average rider.
Let's have a butcher. I know Ben Barker's now in it for Plymouth.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Because he's had a tough season.
Let me have a see if I can find the lineup somewhere. Events. Major events.
I think they
No one
announced
cares
some
about
changes.
They have, but I'm just trying to find the original lineup,
Oh, okay.
which was done on Thursday, the 8th of August, so a month ago. Yeah, Dan Thompson's in the original lineup.
And honestly, at that level, I don't think he can be ruled out.
There's a few riders that, they can win it. Obviously Richard Lawson, Chris Harris, Scott Nichols, Charles Wright, Tom Brennan, Pickering, Dan Thompson.
You'd be hard pressed to look back past Josh Pickering with the form he's on this year, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And whilst Eurosport and Discovery have gone on a break, is this our opportunity to just take a quick couple of minutes?
Yeah. So, just as got Nichols talks a load of crap, I suppose we ought to.
Us talk crap? No, never.
Well, so while we're waiting for Heat 5, very, very good start for Ipswich, as well as obviously having that slice of luck in Heat number 3.
And I think we all agree that Ipswich need double figures to take to Leicester to realistically have any chance. Leicester are more than capable of turning anyone over at home.
Yeah, 100%.
And obviously it does help when the Leicester track curator or one of is Stuart Dixon, the team manager, so he knows how his riders are going to want it.
Yeah, that always does tend to help, doesn't it? Sometimes it doesn't always work in the favour, though. I mean, we've got a track creator that is the boss, and well, it certainly didn't work for us last week.
It did not, did it? Max Frick out again here. He needs a better ride this time out. He's been disappointing so far. I think it's fair to say 1 point from a possible 6.
Yeah, it's not been the best of starts for Max, and to be fair, since the first GP he rode in this season, he's just gone downhill. So, do you reckon maybe it's a confidence thing, or
how did he get on in Riga? I was watching that Grand Prix, but not closely enough. I've missed how Max got on.
He did. Let me find the program. Here it is. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, he come 4th in the final.
So he did really well there. So
he did really well there. He's just not been very good in the other one.
Apart
from the first one.
He can race on a potato field, but can't do it on Ipswich on a cold Monday night.
He could do it on a warm Saturday afternoon in Riga, but he can't do it on a cold Monday night in Ipswich.
So the lineup for heat number 5, going off the inside gate in red for Ipswich, is Keenan Rue. Gate 2 in yellow for Leicester is Richard Lawson. Gate 3 in blue is Tom Brennan, and off the outside in white, Max Frick. This is where you need a captain's ride from the Leicester skipper.
Yeah, you do.
And Pool fans will be watching this with their hands in front of their eyes, because their riders are off gates 2 and 3, and they're riding together on Wednesday night with our next watch along doubleheader. Jankovic is buzzing with life. There you go, Palmer, that wave just for you.
What a boy. I mean, to be fair, I'd be buzzing as well. I'd be buzzing with life if I was my biggest fan.
Becca looks fuming.
A little bit depressed. Does he know help is available if he needs it?
He's a really nice guy. He's Becca. Obviously, being involved in the USA stuff, you get a closer look into Becker and his training, and he's been high on confidence in the nations.
That was then, and this is now Heat 5. The tapes are up. It's a very good start there for the rider of red, Keenan Rue. Now Richard Lawson looks to come up to the underneath for Keenan. It's not quite worked out, so Rue has the lead. Richard Lawson there in second. Frick in third, been put under immense pressure from Tom Brennan. Now Frick going towards the outside, Brennan up the inside. Brennan's just about done him. No, he hasn't. Frick, good ride there from Max Frick to keep Tom Brennan at bay, but you can bet your bottom off that Mr. Brennan's not going to give up till the checker flag. Keenan Rue's virtually away and gone. The two Leicester boys now starting to get in each other's way a little bit rather than T-ride, and this is where Brennan looks to come round the outside, come to the party. Not quite so. Now Frick moves to the outside, Brennan moves to the inside. It's very, very close for third place. But I think as they go down the back straight for the last time, I think Frick's just about done enough to keep that third place. Not to the... you can't fault Brennan's efforts there. It's just one of them races where it didn't work out, and I can't imagine he'll be very happy with that.
I will be fuming with that. He will be fuming. But find me a speedway rider that does like coming last, and I'll tell them that they're in the wrong job.
Danny Phillips.
The result of heat number 5 was a win for the rider in red, Keenan Rue. Second in yellow, Richard Lawson, and third in white, Max Frick. Keeps the progressive score at 10 points to 20. 20 to 10, a 10-point gap with 5 gone in the Witch's favour. Yeah,
just a quick one. I'm just going to have a quick look at the the YouTube now. If you are watching, do drop us a comment. We don't bite unless you have cake.
I've got cake in the fridge. Can I buy it?
No. Get it out of the fridge. I'm disappointed you bought it today and it's not already eaten.
Nah, it's tomorrow's job. Can't eat cake on a watch along. And we have had a discussion about these watch alongs as well, actually, which we'll elaborate on a little bit more later in the season. But there is later in the winter, ready for next season. But there's some really cool ideas coming for these for next year, Palmer.
Yes, there is. Some very intriguing ideas. To make these a bit better than what they already are. And we started discussions about these early today, and I'm sure we will discuss it in much further detail over the cold, dark winter months. We'll even probably have a chat about it on Christmas Day when there's naffle on the telly.
Until the Gavin and Stacey special.
Sam Hagen is here in yellow as a reserve switch. Don't know who rider replacement is yet though.
Who is the RR actually? That's a good put. I'd imagine maybe Luke Becker.
If Adam could get a little bit closer, that would be appreciated.
I want to say that was Sam Masters in white then, but it's either Sam or Becker.
You say that and I'll watch it be Richard Lawson.
I think it might be Becker. That's Sam.
It's Masters.
I only knew that because Sam and Becker are the only two Leicester riders with a black helmet.
I just saw the M on his race suit, I'm not gonna lie.
And there's a little bit of a height difference between Sam and Becker. So the line-up for heat number 6, taking the rider replacement ride off gate 1 for Leicester, is Sam Masters, unlucky first time out with his chain going kaput. Winner first time out of gate 2 in red is Jankovic. Reserve switch in gate number 3 is Sam Hagen, and off the outside in blue is Adam Ellis.
Adam Ellis.
Yeah, I had to check the programme then because it went off the screen very quickly. Don't get that with BSN.
Massive ride needed from Adam here against what you would consider, well, I wouldn't consider Sam easy opposition, but he should be definitely getting the beating of Sam Hagen here.
It's definitely a difficult heat for Sam, and there's no easy heats at this level though.
Oh no, 100%. Takes right away we go. I think Sam Masters had a little bit of a nibble there and it's gained to his advantage, but Jankovic now looking to come up the inside there of Sam Masters. Not quite worked out, so Sam Masters has a lead then, followed by Jankovic there in second, Adam Ellis in third, to the surprise of nobody, and then at the rear of the field is Sam Hagen. And to be fair, looking from Adam's helmet cam, this all looks virtually a little bit strung out at the moment, but you can't say out just yet because we're only on second lap. And anything could happen.
And in the first one, it did to Sam, yeah.
But yeah, Sam Masters leading by example, although he's been put under some pressure from Jankovic. If they could get off Adam's helmet cam, that would be greatly appreciated, so we could actually see what's going on rather than just looking at a moving track. That would be great. Jankovic certainly not giving up on Sam Masters at the moment, going really, really wide there, ended up nearly in King's Lynn. There's a fence there, if you could stop scaring me like that, I would forever appreciate it.
He was definitely quicker than Sam Masters there, just couldn't find a way through and maybe over trying a little bit and nearly put himself into King's Lynn again.
Over trying for his potential new employers, maybe?
Possibly. The result of heat number, was that 6?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Heat 6 result was a win for the rider in white, Sam Masters. Second in red, Jankovic, and third in blue, Adam Ellis. Keeps the gap at 10 points, and there'll be a short delay now because Sam Masters has 2 on the bounce. I don't think Sam did have a nibble there, No, it was just a good start again.
I think it's one of them again. The camera angle when
you're right.
Yeah, it's Eurosport.
It's that inside camera, in it.
In it.
Yeah, neither of us are going blind. Well, I do wear
Not yet,
glasses, so
anyway.
maybe I am.
Well,
As Alan likes to call people, I'm that specky fella.
not very nice, Alan.
Yankovic is definitely quicker than Sam Masters in this one.
He is, but as we could see there's not a great deal of dirt around the outside, which is where Jan tried most of the race, and if it is stuck to the inside, well,
He's lucky to stay on there. That's some good motorcycle skills, I think.
if Eurosport could stop showing that, that would be great, because I'm on the brink of crying.
Sam looking back like, where are you going, mate?
Just to King's Lynn, mush.
And now we've got Calvin Tatum and Ollie Allen in the box, no doubt talking wisdom. And I can't even say that with a straight face.
I don't think anyone would hear that with a straight face. Mush.
Why? What on earth has Scotty got on? Looks like he's rocked up in bowling shoes.
Pick up the bowling shoes.
Bowlplex have just called they want their shoes back. It's rutting up a little bit. Not quite as bad as Riga did, but it is.
This track's a bit safer than Riga, I think. We've not had any major crashes yet.
And they're talking of Riga, there has been an update from one of those major crashes, and it does sound like Mika Mikkelson's season is over.
Yeah, shame for Mickle really, because he was having the absolute season of his life, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was flying, weren't he?
And he's one of them now. He's going to be a doily, and he was having too good of a season to not be granted a wild card
he
for
will
next
get a
year.
pick. Yeah, he will get. And every rider that's done well this season just pushes, in my opinion, Woofenden down that pecking order. I don't think many people expect a Woofenden pick, but I think he's even lower down the order now.
Even Ty said in a live interview at Cardiff, he doesn't expect to be given a pick, and if he isn't given a wildcard pick, he will apply to go into the qualifiers.
And that's the way I think everyone should get in, because wildcard picks are always subjective.
And here's a quick one for you. I know this year,
Danny
obviously
King? He's a quick
the
one.
the GP challenge, obviously this year, a week after the last GP. But obviously it's been like this sort of time of year beforehand.
Yeah.
Should current GP riders be included in the GP challenge or not?
I think if it's after the season like this one, if they've missed out, I think they should be allowed to qualify. I think any that are in the... I don't think any in the top 6 are allowed to do it either, because obviously they're in.
No, yeah.
But I think if you'd miss out and you were definitely eliminated, I think you should be allowed to apply, which is why I think it should be ran after the series, because then you know who's in, who's out. If you go into it and you know you're there or thereabouts, but you don't qualify, and then you've got it in the middle of the season and you've got that sort of security, it's just a bit of a grey area.
Yeah.
But the lineup for Heat 7, going off the inside gate in red, impressive winner last time out, Danny King. Gate 2 in white is Sam Masters, should be unbeaten had it not been for his chain coming off. Gate 3 in blue is Masters, Oxford Cheetahs teammate Ashton Bowden, and off the outside in yellow is Luke Becker, who took up a lucky 3rd place first time out with Sam retiring.
I can see Sam Masters shaking in his boots being on the outside of Danny King.
And if Becker can get a good gate, he may potentially have the run around here. And Sam can gate as well as anyone, so we could expect to see Kingy maybe clamped on the inside here. But for the love of God, don't give us this stupid angle again. This is even worse.
Heat 7 and the tapes rise, away we go, and Danny King has made a very, very good start there. Fair play to Danny King, and now the rider in yellow, Luke Becker, looks to come around the outside of his teammate, and Ashton Bowden now up the inside there of Sam Masters. Great ride there from Ashton, and Sam Masters there just locking up and almost looked like he packed up there. Does anyone want to see if he's turned the fuel on or something as he pulls half a wheel down the back straight? That wasn't very good, Sam. I'll give you a solid 2 out of 10 for that. You got your wheel off the ground. Well done, pal. Danny King riding like an absolute captain tonight, which makes an absolute change, although this happened in the cup final last week and then he went to a bit crap after his second ride. So one lap left to go then. And could we really see Danny King on a maximum after 7 heats? I don't think we had this in the script. But yeah, Danny King coming around the final couple of bends then to take the win. Luke Becker second and Ashton Bowden with a very impressive third place.
I want to say Sam hit that exact same spot that Yankovic hit in the last race on the inside of 4. That was why he looked like he'd slowed up. I think he straightened up. And again, that helps Ipswich as they pull another couple of points.
Couple of witches.
All they're doing is making the second leg more interesting. If it had been too close or Leicester had took a lead, you know. Yeah. But the result of heat number 7 was a win for the rider in red, Danny King. Second in yellow, Luke Becker. And third, crucially in blue, Ashton Bowden. To make the progressive scores, Ipswich 27, Leicester 15.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
We mentioned about not having a crap camera angle, so what do they do for the initial staging of that? Stick us with the camera angle from the pits.
I don't think Sam hits that thing, that place Jankovic hits.
He does, yeah, he
his
does.
problems just hit a little bit earlier than that.
Becker looked quick then.
Not as quick as a real thing.
The real thing, Danny. Is that what Roy Clark calls him?
Unfortunately, so yes. I can't claim copyright on that, so I'll just keep Strawberry Jam.
And what a ride that is from Ashton in third, crucially getting the third place point.
These third places are going to be crucial for Ipswich if they are to advance to the final.
Yeah.
Obviously Leicester are going to be a completely different kettle of fish around their own circuit on Thursday evening. But for tonight, if you was Richie Hawkins, I know you're not because you can crack half a smile sometimes.
So can Sam. I wouldn't be talking to the media just after that one. That would be a frustrating one. Unlucky first time out, but that one was one of them. But he's still smiling away.
Maybe he's just thought I've had a bit of a rubbish race. I'll go flirt with Abby to cheer myself up a little bit, even though they're probably both married.
And,
I know Abby is.
Yeah, Sam is. We
don't stalk her Instagram that much. I do promise.
Oh, God.
There's not a lot to look at.
And
The Eurosport runner, on the other hand,
I think they're just about to go on an ad break here, so I think we'll take a little interval as well.
we may as well. Well, we're back after that little advertisement break. If you're watching on Eurosport, if like us, you're watching on Discovery Plus, you just got some behind the scenes footage, and we have a man now sweeping the mat.
Phil Morris sweeping the rider's mat thing. Play. If he
What a
likes the
boy.
place to be clean, then more power to him.
And that's the CEO of this league.
Very proactive CEO. I think you've
What a
got long
boy.
odds on this result coming tonight. Ipswich are definitely fired up for it, and Jankovecki's doing every bit the job that Jason Dorr would have done, in my opinion, so far. We've just got
I think
the fixtures or whatever's coming up on Eurosport, which nobody cares about, so we'll hear from Mr. Barmer.
I think, to be fair, after the disappointment, if you like, of the knockout cup last week, Ipswich, that was a massive kick up the backside that I think they needed, to be honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, this Heat 8 looks it looks almost as tasty as a Chinese takeaway.
And to be fair, there's plenty more to come from Ipswich. I don't think it's harsh of us to say that Adam Ellis and Tom Brennan maybe not quite hit their top form yet. If those two do it as well, this could certainly become concerning for Leicester with Max Frick on 2 and the paid weird second thing. He's on paid 3 from a potential 9 points, and you don't expect that from a Grand Prix star.
No. What I was going to say, I can't remember if I asked you this before we went off. If you was Richie Hawkins, even though you can crack half a smile, if you was Richie Hawkins and you had this sort of lead, how would you sort of go about extending this lead, and what would you ideally want the lead to be to go to Leicester?
You want double figures, you want 10 minimum, but from this position of 12, I do think Leicester have got stronger heats coming up and stronger pairings in the second half of the meeting, but I'd still be looking at double figures. I think 10 points is a bare minimum. Obviously, being a Wolves fan for many years, Pete Adams used to say if we can get double figures, if we can keep it within double figures away, we can do it at home, and they used to do that. So you want sort of, if you're Stuart Dixon, you certainly don't want it to be going to 14, 16, 18, 20 points, because then that's a little bit of a mountain to climb.
Yeah, and if it's 31 points, we may as well just give up.
There is
Talking from experience.
Poor Scunny, as the riders come round for Heat 8. With all due respect again to Leicester here, Richard Lawson's solid enough. You'd expect the Ipswich pairing to have the beating of Sam Hagen again, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's one of them, obviously. If Adam can make a really good gate here, I think the race is his. This sort of race should be the race Adam goes out and wins comfortably.
But then you've got Richard Lawson on the outside.
Richard Lawson can be quite good.
Sometimes. And the fact that he's got a 7.2 average, I think it is, and he's only at number 2, I think is a testament to this Leicester team. So the lineup.
I mean, his average is higher than Sam Masters.
Yeah. So the lineup for Heat number 8 going off the inside gate in blue is Dan Thompson. Gate 2 in yellow, Sam Hagen. Gate 3 in red, Adam Ellis, and off the outside in white, Richard Lawson. And people do say that that position number 2 is one of the easier ones, but it's also you're with the number 1 a lot, but the number 1s are usually going to try and clear off and just do their thing.
Some people say number 2 is the easiest position in the team. Some people say number 2 is the hardest position in the team. Obviously, Lambo at Scunny's ridden most of his Scunthorpe career, the back end anyway, at number 2. And his attitude is, you've got to race against everybody anyway, it's just a number on your back.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
So, Tapes rise for Heat number 8, and it's a brilliant start from Adam Ellis, but there, Richard Lawson just round the outside of both the Ipswich Witches riders there, and it is currently a 3-all with Richard Lawson showing his absolute class around the opening lap of this race. Sam Hagen, yet again, towards the rear of the field, and I think after this race he could pack his bag and go home. Adam Ellis putting Richard Lawson under some pressure here, to be fair to him, and obviously Lawson riding a very good line to keep Adam at bay, but Adam's not going to give up till till he sees the checkered flag, but a much needed second place here for Adam. It'll give his confidence a little mini boost, I would imagine. Richard, though, it doesn't look that fast up front, if you ask me. Then again, it doesn't really look fast on the older Discovery Plus. But Richard Lawson's got quite a bit of a lead now, and that's it. It was virtually done from the gate again.
It was a really good start from Richard Lawson as well, and Dan Thompson crucially backing in the third. And as I think you said, Sam Hagan can pretty much pack up, and it's a shame because he's a really good kid. He started the season really well. He's just almost, I think Sam Hagan, as far as Leicester goes, is a project. You know, he's a working project kind of thing.
There is improvement in Sam.
There is, yeah. The result of Heat 8 was a win for the Rider in White. Richard Lawson, second in red, Adam Ellis, and third in blue, Dan Thompson. The Heat wins are coming from Leicester at the moment, but the last places are as well. This is, you know, they need to be packing in the third places as well. You know, 3 alls at this stage aren't going to do Leicester any favours.
One last place for the Witches. Yeah, one last place for the Witches compared to 7 for the Lions.
And that's where it's being won and lost at the moment, isn't it?
That's the story on
Ballamore.
That's the story in, well, Ballamore brackets Ipswich version.
And in fairness, you would expect Richard Lawson probably to win that race.
Yeah.
You know, it's Adam Ellis doesn't ride in the championship, but it is a championship standard race, I think.
Bold opinion here. Adam could do with a season doubling up in the championship
Yeah,
again.
absolutely could. Rider replacement in white is Luke Becker. Which means Richard Lawson is taking the rider replacement in Heat 13. Tom Brennan will be looking to bounce back after a tricky race last time out.
The only Ipswich rider to score a last place.
He will not be happy with that.
He will not be happy with that statistic, and he'll be looking to put that right. And Keenan Roo's done really well, to be fair, on a paid maximum so far.
Oh God!
And
let's see how this one goes.
Luke Becker on his day can be really good, and Lewis Kerr exists.
It's a marvel to me. Luke Becker's never been the quickest of gators, yet his mentor, so to speak, is one of the greatest gators to ever grace Speedway.
Jason Crump.
Not quite. Heat 9 going off the inside gate in blue is Tom Brennan. Gate 2 in white, Luke Becker. Gate 3 in red, as Palmer says, unbeaten so far, Keenan Roo. And off the outside in yellow, Lewis Kerr.
I want to know who that lady is Stuart Dixon's talking to.
We both know the fella's a couple of people down from him.
Yes, we do.
And the track's a funny one. There's usually some material built up on the outside by now, and it's almost gone backwards. Yankvek used some material on there early on, but it looks really, really slick out there now.
It's it's a weird one, isn't it? But obviously, hopefully, since they had to break a couple of races ago, hopefully they got the old little circular motorway blade on it and just readied it out a bit. So here we go then for heat number 9, and I believe that was a decent start there for the rider in blue there, Tom Brennan, with the Lions boys there in second and third. What can Keenan Roo do now, who's struggling towards the back of the field? So Brennan it is that has the lead, followed by Lewis Kerr in the second position, being backed up with Luke Becker there in third place. The 3-0 will suit the Lions, but it will also suit the Witches a little bit, because obviously that maintains their 12-point lead, but obviously the Witches will be looking for more. Brennan showing class out in front, actually. He's just pulling away now from the 2 Leicester boys. The 2 Leicester boys now try to race each other, and to be fair, they may as well, because Keenan Roo is that far back, he may as well have just popped, I don't know, Kings Lynn or somewhere like that, Mill, just pop and make an offer in to buy Mild and all. But yeah, Tom Brennan is out there, he's winning this by an absolute country mile. Just like that, he's back to winning ways, and that's another 3-3.
And that's the end of Keenan Roo's maximum. Just as you
Who
were
comes
saying he looked good,
second?
that
Luke.
was Lewis Kerr. Unless it changed on the last bend. Because I was filling in the programme.
Yeah, it
No,
was.
Lewis Kerr still there. The result of Heat 9 was a win for the rider in blue Tom Brennan, second in yellow Lewis Kerr, and third in white Luke Becker. Again, points divided, and the progressive score 33 points to 21. Keenan Rue personally won't be very happy with that last place, but Ipswich as a whole will be, because even though they had the last, they also had the first.
Yes, as we say, it maintains that important 12-point lead that they've got. Obviously, they'll be looking for more, and we will have a slight delay because Luke Becker's on 2 on the bounce.
Bit of a lift there for Tom. He does like riding Ipswich.
Apparently, Kelvin Tatum is getting mixed up, and apparently that was Adam Ellis at the back, not Keenan Rue. Kelv, don't go breaking my heart.
Yeah. Scotty talking to Max Frick. Not having a good night at all, is he really? Let's be honest.
No.
No.
He's certainly had better nights.
But then again, he's more than capable of going through the card and beating absolutely any and everybody around Leicester.
So yeah, he's very capable at Leicester. As a GP rider, as a certain promoter once said, GP riders should be able to ride any track.
And ironically enough, it's that fella's birthday as well today. So a very happy birthday to Mr. Nigel Tolley and his funky Christmas shoes.
Yes, I expect to see the light up high tops at this year's Christmas party.
Don't know if there is one. I know there's an end of season awards, which is the 11th of October. I don't know if there's a Christmas party. I won't lie to you much.
I'm not covered up for an awards night.
That's the end of season piss up, as we're calling it.
I was gonna say, what awards can you give to Brum?
Well, they're all going to Brennan, aren't they?
Yeah.
The 2 minutes have gone on quickly though, because Richard Lawson's just gone running through the pits to get his helmet on, ready for this one. He nearly went.
Even though Richard Lawson's not in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Richard, go get your helmet on. You don't have to, mate. You're not in this one.
He definitely went running back to his pit bay.
And that's something I like to see. We two little favourites in this Ipswich team giving each other a little fist bump.
And there is that togetherness with the boys, and there definitely seems to be that with Ipswich. It's been there all season, but obviously there's guests in, and they're still kind of putting it through them to. And Sam having a little chin wag with Adam Ellis and Jankvek. You don't get this in any other sport, do you?
No.
You just don't get opposition about to go and throw a bike at each other for 4 laps, just having a chin wag.
It's not very often you could go to. I don't know who these players play for, so please excuse my wrongness here. But you couldn't go to the Etihad and say Cristiano Ronaldo having a chin wag with Sergio Aguero, could you?
No, you wouldn't. Certainly not like this anyway. And looks very wet in them pits. Looks like they've had a fair amount of rain. Why are they opening this gate now? They gave up with the other one. It does generally do that, don't they? They start letting you out the far gate, and then they open up the closer gate instead.
Maybe that gate is broken.
Kings Lynn, are you there?
I mean, if Rob Lyon's there, I'm sure Buster might have made the trip up.
Yeah, to make
We know
sure
what
that Yankovic's not poached away from him.
We know what he's like with pit gates. Did I just say that out loud?
Shocking.
Buster, if you're watching, sort your pit gates out, mush.
And we are waiting for Luke Becker, who's about to run this cameraman over if it doesn't move out to where? He's got 55 seconds to get out on the track. Luckily with the pit gate they've opened now, he should make that quite easily. But Richard Lawson, that's what Lawson was doing, working on Luke's bike, and now this could be tight because it's not all in one piece yet. And that's, Sam Hagen, not had the best night, but still doing his part for the team. 35 seconds.
30 seconds to go.
He's going to make it. He's going
to be just by the skin of his teeth, I
Richie
reckon.
Hawkins be standing in front of him now. Stop! Yeah, he'll be there. He won't be able to get off and garden, but he will be there. Full lineup of heat number 10, going off the inside gate in blue is Adam Ellis. Gate 2 in yellow, Luke Becker. Gate 3 in red is Jankovic. And off the outside in white, Sam Masters.
So, after this race, will be a third through this playoff semi-final number 1, and it's a very good start there for both the Ipswich boys as they lead the Lions boys are on a 5-1. So Jankovic going around the outside, Adam Ellis sitting there in second place, being chased all the way now by Sam Masters. Luke Becker struggling towards the rear of the field, and this is just what the Ipswich doctor ordered here, with Jankovic leading by example, showing why he is a GP star. He's showing Max Frick up here. I hope Max Frick is watching this. Say, hey, this is how a GP rider rides Ipswich. The two Leicester boys now, they may as well just race each other, because these Ipswich boys, these could go get themselves chicken nuggets and chips, because they've checked out, they've gone. We've got one lot left to go. These two boys are just going to be hoping and praying nothing happens to their bicycles that has engines in as we go around the final 2 turns. And it's going to be a big Witches, a 5-1.
The Leicester middle order is letting them down big time at the moment. As a pairing, they're just not doing enough. Thought that was Selena Liebman and Emil Saivudinov's love child then.
Speedway's new power couple.
Yeah, the Leicester boys were racing each other then pretty much, and somebody's off on a lap of honour. I think that's Adam Ellis, because his night's
That's
done.
Adam.
So he's going to go and take a trip round the stock car track.
Well, it gives them something to do, doesn't it?
The result of Heat 10 was a win for the rider in red, Jankovic. Second in blue, Adam Ellis, and third in white, Sam Masters. Progressive score now 38-22, and you're almost in that territory where Leicester need heat advantages now, and that's it.
It's one of them. Judging by the Lions form, obviously they are very good at home.
But you don't want to give yourself an almost impossible task at home, do you?
You do sort of struggle to see where the Lions could get a heat advantage. I mean, well, I don't want to speak too soon, but Danny King's been decent tonight. Bowden's chipped in with a couple of very important third places. They're obviously Max Frick struggling. Lawson's had a decent night, so Heat 11 could be tasty. Heat 12 though, man of the moment, Dan Thompson, and Rue's been alright, apart from his last one. Sam Masters, he's having a Western Supermare tonight, and Lewis Kerr's been alright, could have been better. And then obviously the big Heat 13 coming up after Heat 12, which is after this one, Heat 11.
And the interesting thing there, Jankovic also went round on a lap of honour with Adam Ellis, potentially to his new home fans for 25, if the rumours are to be believed. But as Stuart Dixon now is really going to earn his money, because you need to try and keep your riders' heads up, and it's not going to plan. They are good at home, but 16 down already. That it really is last chance saloon now.
I mean, the Witches will be. I would imagine the Witches will be wanting a 16 to 20 point lead minimum.
Especially after, where they are now with sort of 5 to go.
Yeah, and after the season they've had, I think everybody wrote Ipswich off here, but this one meeting, if this carries on the way it is, this could drag the Witches straight to the final.
And we have said this the last couple of meetings, especially at Kings Lynn the other night. I know they obviously beat them at home just after a super heat for the aggregate point, but Leicester really weren't on it at Kings Lynn last week.
The wheels were starting to fall off,
and it looks like one or two of them may have gone now.
Luke Becker.
Ashton's doing well. I remember the start of the season where he was struggling to get points at the Rising Star number 7, and now he genuinely looks like an accomplished number 6.
He does. He's been chipping in with vital points as and when the need. Danny King's been really good tonight. Maybe he's decided he's got bored of cleaning his Kevlars, and it's just easy to go out there and win races.
Big Big good evening to Craig Hurl in the YouTube comments.
Evening, Hurley. Hope you are doing very, very good on this fine, freezing cold Monday evening.
And Heat 11 going off the inside gate in white. Max Frick, been disappointing so far, there's no other way to say it. Gate 2 in red is Danny King. Gate 3 in yellow, Richard Lawson. And off the outside in blue, Ashton Bowden.
This race is massive for Max Frick.
He's got to win it. There's no two ways about it. Richard Lawson's been there or thereabouts in the points. Max Frick has not, and as captain and number one, if you're having a mare, you can almost deal with sort of a rider having a mare, but when, 2 or 3 of the Leicester boys are all having one on the same night.
And it's one of them, like, on paper, you would fancy the Leicester pairing here.
But of the meeting so far, you'd fancy the Ipswich pairing.
You'd fancy the Witches. It's going to be an interesting race. It'll be over in about 60 seconds as the tapes rise, and it's a very good start there for Max Frick. Now Lawson underneath both Frick and Danny King. This is just what the Stuart Dixon ordered there.
Has Danny King's steel shoe just come off?
Somebody's steel shoes just come off. Don't quite know whose it is. Danny King looking to put Richard Lawson under a little bit of pressure here, but for Danny King this is almost identical to the Knockout Cup final. He has 2 very good first rides, and then his last 2 are not very good. But this is exactly what Stuart Dixon will be wanting from his boys now. A big, much needed 5-1 from these boys. It's about time Max Frick come to the party. He's a little bit late, isn't he? But Richard Lawson needs to keep on his heels, because one mistake from Lawson, Danny King will be through. But Max Frick, he's checked out, he's away and gone. He saw how Jankovic rode in his last race and thought, I'm going to try and ride Ipswich like a GP rider and not a novice. And just like that, he gets a win.
It was Danny King's steel shoe, and it went off bouncing over the back straight fence. He wasn't putting his foot down.
That would explain everything.
Craig Hurl says, just done an SC meeting now, having a beer, something that you can relate to quite well, Mr. Barmer, the beer part.
Well, yeah, I do like a nice cool alcoholic beverage.
The result of heat number 11 was a win for the rider in white, Max Frick. Second in yellow, Richard Lawson. And third, steel shoeless in red, Danny King. Don't tell Leon Madsen, because after he was bitching about Dan Bewley's chain guard the other night at the Grand Prix, he'll be claiming blue murder for that steel shoe being missing.
Wasn't he just?
You see it come flying off here down the back straight. You just see it shoot into the air.
Yeah, you do on that angle, to be fair.
There it is. It bounces off the floor, then off his bike and straight over the fence. Luckily the fans are behind another fence, because someone could have had a bit of a whack in the bonds. There
yeah, but they could have had a nice souvenir out of that.
Yeah. And that was just
So,
what Leicester needed, as you said, in real time. And I get the feeling this might be the interval now.
Oh, don't show fan power this that part of the fence. You'll be having a little bit of a rant on the old Facey book.
And that 5-1 does narrow the gap slightly, but it's still 12. They need to follow it up. It's no good if they go out in Heat 12 and give a heat advantage straight back to Ipswich. They need to pounce on that now.
They do, 100%.
Is it Sam or Becker in 12? Sam in it.
Samuel.
So they really need him to step up now in this one and put the pressure on. I think it's Keenan, the opposition.
Keenan and Dan.
Yeah.
Keenan and Dan.
Sam needs to be on the top of his game in this one, really.
I think Richie Hawkins might have just told Ashton he can pack his bags and start making his way home, because I think Dan's just overall the better reserve for the Witches on the night.
Ashton's had a good night, and he'll obviously be vital at Leicester if he's used again at Leicester. I think he will be.
I'd be very surprised if there was any changes to
Yeah,
these teams, to be
yeah.
fair, on Thursday.
With the track knowledge he has of Leicester, obviously started his National League career at Leicester last season. He definitely knows the what is it now, the Pigcock motorcycles of it. It's been that many different
Yeah.
names.
And obviously, Dan Thompson's grown up around Leicester as
That's
well.
it,
That
yeah.
is a massive advantage to have for Ipswich.
You'd almost say that the home reserve pairing would almost be the away reserve pairing with the experience of the track that the Ipswich pair will
And
have.
obviously, Danny King's had a couple of seasons at Ipswich.
Leicester.
Yankovic struggled at Leicester. Sorry, Yankovic struggled there the other day.
But it's a new meeting, isn't it? Anything can happen.
The new meeting, anything can happen. I mean, who remembers 2018? Edinburgh go and beat Workington 61-29 for then Workington to go and beat Edinburgh the very next day 62-28 to become playoff contenders.
Shall we have a quick minute chinwag with Alan, see what he thinks of the meeting before we go and take our little interval
Go on,
while
then.
they have one? Al, what do you think of the meeting so far? Me old fruit.
Well, it's been an interesting meeting.
Has it?
Got it. Well, and it's okay. Maybe interesting wasn't the best term to use there, but it's been a good meeting for Ipswich. Certainly, they've certainly put the dominance on against Leicester. But I just feel Leicester could be on the comeback if that heats anything to go by. And I've now probably jinxed Leicester, so I apologise to all Leicester fans watching.
To be fair though, these intervals come at the very wrong time, because after that they just want to carry on.
Yeah, you're right on that. They wouldn't want to be stopping now after that 5-1. They want to use that confidence to keep powering on. So I think Ipswich will be happy with the interval coming right now, in the hopes that that'll put the motivation of Leicester to one side.
Alan almost sounds like he knows what he's talking about, Palmer. Have we gone to another dimension?
I am really
Who are
I'm
you
really
and what have you done with the real Alan?
It's me, Cammy Brown.
He wouldn't know his arse from his elbow. And
I don't know that.
we'll bring Alan in maybe at the end for a quick overview and prediction for the second leg. But for now, shall we take a quick 5 minutes, chaps?
Go on then.
Yeah, why not?
And we are back. Well, I am. Palmer's gone. He's dead. So for the moment, it's just me taking this one. And heat number 12, the lineup is as follows. Going off the inside gate in yellow for Leicester is Lewis Kerr. Gate 2 in red, Keenan Root. Gate 3 in white is Sam Masters. And off the outside in blue is Dan Thompson. Just awaiting Palmer to make his return, or not, as the case may be. If he's not, we'll crack on without him for this one. I don't think he's took his phone with him because he's not read the message. What an idiot. And Sam Masters needs to step up his game here. Start Marshall telling Keenan Root to move over because he's not happy with him. You're just in time, Palmer.
Oh, Palmer the hero once again. So tape's about to rise. Then 4 heat number 12. It's a very, very good start there again for both the Lions pairing with Keenan Rue looking to come up the inside there, but the two Lions boys just about. Oh, Rue up the inside there, up the right with yellow. Lewis Kerr, good man down, and Dan Thompson looking to do the same. So it's gone from a Lions 5-1 now to a Lions now 4-2. But Dan Thompson's putting Lewis Kerr under immense pressure. Sam Nasty, he's checked out his way and gone. And Keenan Rue's pretty settled there now, I believe, in the second place position. Lewis Kerr still hanging on for third place, although he's more chasing Keenan for second rather than holding off Dan for last. I think Dan's a little bit too far behind now to make some form of challenge. The Witches will be hoping for some form of mechanical failure for Sam again, but I don't quite think that's going to happen this time. But a 4-2 to the Lions, not the worst thing in the world, but the Witches will be needing to bounce back in heat number 13 next.
And that was all pretty much done from the start again, to be fair. Lewis Kerr got a belter of a start there off gate 1, and Sam Masters joined him. Good ride by Keenan Rue to chop back up the inside, and Dan Thompson did pressure Lewis Kerr early on, but he held on very well. And that's another couple of points shaved off.
I just hope that the song I've just sang while I was on the I was taking care of nature to a Leicester fan doesn't come and bite me in the bottom.
Result of heat 12 was a win for the rider in white, Sam Masters. Second in red, Keenan Root, and third in yellow, Lewis Kerr. 4-2 to Leicester, and puts us back at 10 points. Is it 10 or 10 in it now?
10, 41, 31.
Yeah, 10 points now, the difference, and I don't think it's a bottle job yet, but there'll certainly be a few twitchy bumholes, I suppose would be the right word, for the Ipswich fans now. In a race where, in theory, on paper, based on tonight, that was a missed opportunity.
It was, and yeah, as you say, it'll be squeaky bum time for the Witches. Big 8-13 coming up. Richard Lawson is the rider replacement in yellow. That was nice of Discovery Plus to go back and show us Stuart Dixon shouting at his riders.
And rider replacement up until this point has only scored 5 points. You would have expected more from Dougie, to be honest.
Yeah. Massive race this for Danny King as well. He's come under a hell of a lot of criticism and had a poor last ride out.
Yeah.
for a run that's been around Ipswich for the best part of 10 years, I think, is isn't good enough.
Line up for heat at number 13, going off the inside gate in red is Yankovic. Gate 2 in white, Max Frick. Gate 3 in blue is Danny King. And off the outside in yellow, the rider replacement, Richard Lawson. Do these gates just fall nicely for Leicester at the right time with Richard Lawson right on the outside? And if Max Frick can trap and get over Yankovic, it could be another potential heat advantage to Leicester here.
Battle of the GP superstars, innit?
It is.
Although with big Lawson up, with big Frick up, with big Kovac up, watch Danny King go out and win this.
Probably.
Much to the delight or displeasure of Ipswich fans.
Nice to see he's got his steel shoe back.
That's good, no one's rocked it at least.
Why has the start marshal decided to wait until Lawson pulls in to tell him to move? What an idiot with his big beak.
So, the tapes rise then for heat number 13. A very good start there for the rider in blue, Danny King, but it's Frick that gets there. He'll lead first. Now, what can Lawson do? The two Witches Boys team riding Lawson towards the back of the field. Now, King looking to come up the inside there of Max Frick. Frick holds the right line there, and now Lawson looks to come up the inside of Kovac. Not quite happened just yet. Frick, sorry, one mistake from Frick, and Danny King will be through. And Kingy looks to quicker of the two riders, but Frick just holds the right line there, and this will keep the deficit to 10 points for the Lions. Big race this one, and well, not a lot's really happening. Frick's still in the lead, King's still second, Strawberry Jam or Yankovic is still in third, Richard Lawson's still towards the rear of the field. And yeah, 3-3. I think the Lions will be the happier of the two teams there.
Did you notice there, before we'd even got to the first turn, Max Frick was looking around to see if Richard Lawson was with him? If you charge on the replay, he looks over his right shoulder before he's even into the first turn. So
I didn't notice that.
Watch it on the replay. He's looking over his shoulder before they even get there. The result of 13 was a win for the rider in white, Max Frick. Second in blue, Danny King, and third in red, Yankovic. Just watch Max Frick here looking straight over his shoulder there.
Yeah, he saw Danny King was coming there, and he just went and blocked his line perfect. Something interesting happening, being said in the group chat. Richard Lawson wasn't ready when the clock hit 0.
We obviously, because the start marshal told him to move back. So that technically won't be his fault because he was in a position and was ready. Start marshal told him to move. So
I think it's one of them.
I don't think
if
he'd
his
been
elbow
excluded for that.
If his elbow or something was on the actual white line, then I do think he has cause to be moved.
But then if he was ready when the clock hit 0 and the start marshal moved him, if that was a rule where you could be excluded, start marshals all over the country would be doing it.
But it's one of them, and it would be who would be a referee?
Lewis Kerr goes in yellow, and Ashton Bowden does keep his spot
He
in
keeps
blue.
his spot.
This is a huge race for Leicester in particular. I think it's it's guaranteed now that Ipswich are going to win on the night, barring 2-5-0s, and then it'll be a draw on the night.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
But Becker looks like he's changed his bike. Lewis Kerr comes in to partner him. I'm surprised that there's no Dan Thompson, I won't lie.
So am I.
But this is a big race for Leicester. This is the
Big
difference
race, really,
between a
for both
6-point difference and a 10+ difference, maybe. That Pitgate fella looks like me. I swear I ain't got a twin in Ipswich.
You sure you haven't got an evil twin brother?
Positive. The line-up for heat number 14, going off the inside gate in white, is Luke Becker. Gate 2 in blue, Ashton Bowden. Gate 3 in yellow, the reserve change, Lewis Kerr. And off the outside in red, Tom Brennan. You've got to fancy Tom for this.
Yeah, you'd expect so. Obviously Luke Becker's starting to show a little bit of, sort of started to show a little bit of form now, and it's safe to say 2 and 4 have been the better gates. To be fair, so that could favour the Witches in this one.
And then it's whoever Stuart Dixon decides to partner up with Richard Lawson, with Max Frick, sorry, in 15. I'd imagine it'll probably be Sam Masters, to be fair.
You could have a case of Richard Lawson. Could have a case there.
He was miles at the back in that one, just though, and I'd imagine the same pairing probably will be out for Ipswich. So,
But we don't know this until we do the team manager interviews and all that. The start marshal's about to walk away. They've 14 number 14 tapes. Right away we go. Tom Brennan lifted a little bit at the start there. Carnage.
that'll be all full back. There is definitely contact between Becker and Ashton Bowden there. That gives Ipswich a favour because Tom made a howler of that.
That's all for back any day of the week.
There's clear as day contact, and Tom will be happy because he makes an absolutely shocking start. It's definitely contact. Becker, it's all for all day.
Yeah,
and,
Dirk Reflector took the front wheel.
And Ashton's lucky that Tom never cleaned him up as well. Don't even think it was a dirt deflector. I think it was the back wheel. Ashton looks a little bit knocked about here. Could this be a potential opportunity for Richie Hawkins to put Dan Thompson in, maybe? He's holding his ankle.
Possibly. He looks hurt. And this will be a massive blow for Oxford in the championship as well if Ashton's injured.
Who, let's be honest, is riding like a heat leader for him at the moment in that league.
He is. Maybe he just needs a couple of days rest just in time to come back to action on Thursday.
Wednesday, much Oxford are racing.
Oh no, he needs Wednesday off still.
Yeah, you've got no hope.
A lad can dream, alright.
Scunny might end up having Wednesday off.
I wouldn't be surprised of how we go at Oxford. It's not one of our favourite hunting places.
He's limping
Bowder's
a little
up
bit
and
there.
okay, but he's limping.
Now, is this a Danny
Has he still
King
got-
limp?
Has he
Yeah.
still got his steel shoe on?
Nah, it's in his hand. I think it's his goggles. I don't
There
know.
is
Actually,
goggles.
I did not see his steel shoe there.
What a beautiful man on the telly screen at the moment, and I'm not on about Scotty or the man behind my mate Adam.
And we've done relatively well to avoid any incidents so far. But Leicester will be gutted there because they had got away on a 5-1. Ashton's ripped those nice Oxford Kevlars.
How very dairy, I'm sure Peter Schroep won't be happy about that. And I'm certainly sure at this time of the year the Cheetahs won't be supplying a new uniform.
Yeah, it's you might be right. Let's just hope there's not a massive delay now before the rerun.
If you're Richie Hawkins, the easiest thing in the world to do would be to put Dan Thompson out. Two minutes are well and truly on.
And he's ready.
What a boy.
It's all four back as expected. Nobody's surprised by that. Same four riders, same four gates. Luke Becker needs to make that start again.
He does. If the Witches are to, if the Lions, sorry, to take an advantage from this one. Lewis Kerr's done all right this evening.
Fun fact, I think in the little Eurosport graphic there, Luke Becker has got his Wolves Kevlars on. Brennan's definitely got his Valview ones on.
Yeah, I don't think they've quite updated them.
You don't get this from BSN.
Well,
You get
unless
photoshops.
unless you watch a Red Car meeting.
How much would
It's,
Stuart Dixon like a 5-1 here now?
if Lucas could hurry up, we haven't got all night.
It's Tom that's holding him up now.
So all four boys are ready. Lewis Kerr looks a million miles away from the tapes, but he doesn't jump. So fair play to him. What a start there from Ashton Bowden and Tom Brennan looking to come round the outside now with both the Leicester boys, and it is the Witches on a 5-1. This is exactly what Richie Hawkins ordered, although, I thought there was going to be carnage there, I'm not going to lie, but it's Tom Brennan that has the lead, with Ashton Bowden there in second, folding off the challenge of Luke Becker, who one mistake from Bowden, Becker will be there, and Becker's now trying to use the outside run, and if anything, Becker's just gone backwards there. Does someone want to tell Luke Becker there's a fence there, and if he hits that, it doesn't end well. But if anything, now this has extended the Witches' lead, and there'll be there'll be a big number going into the last race of tonight's meeting. We've got one lap left to go then, and this 5-1 here for the Witches will be absolutely huge. And knowing that they're going to go to Leicester on Thursday with a lead,
Becker!
will give them
Ooh, that's close.
Ooh.
That's very close.
That's a transponder job.
I think Ashton's held on, but for me, whether he's got second or third, Luke Becker has let Leicester down big time tonight. 5 points from 5 rides. I think Luke's got that. Yeah, Luke's just nicked that. But he's still...
where the flagman is, because obviously, Ipswich,
Becker's got
that angle's hard to tell.
I think
Dead
Becker's
heat.
done it. I think he's just done it.
Dead heat, let's go.
Has it been announced? From that angle, Luke Becker's got second there, from the top angle.
4-2, yeah. 48-36.
But Luke's still not done the job you'd expect tonight, to be honest. The result of Heat 14 was a win for the rider in red, Tom Brennan, second in white, Luke Becker, and third in blue, Ashton Bowden. Makes the scores now 48-36. 12 points is better than 14, but after the way they found themselves in the initial staging, that's an opportunity missed for Leicester, you've got to feel.
Yeah, 100%.
Brennan doesn't mess it up a second time.
No, he doesn't. He finds that right line, and that's it. He's shot his away and gone. It was a very good, interesting race there between Becker and Bowden all race, to be fair to him. And this meeting hasn't been as bad as what I thought it was going to be, I'm not going to lie.
The lift seemed to almost help Brennan there, and he does get out of shape, but it sticks him straight on the wide line where the dirt seems to be now, and he's straight round everyone. Lewis Kerr was abysmal, Luke Becker wasn't much better, Ashton just a bit unlucky to lose out on the run to the line, but still for me Luke Becker's not done his job particularly well tonight.
And if you are Stuart Dixon, who do you put in Heat 15?
For me it's Sam and Frick. I'd probably say Sam based off of 2 race wins, and should have been 3, should have won Heat 3 as well, but he retired. I just think Sam's experience, he used to obviously be a number 1 in this league at Wolves. I think you've got to look at Sam and Fricky, and I think Stuart is, because they're the 2 he's talking to, and Richard Lawson's there as well.
And Richard Lawson.
Yeah, they're going to toss a coin. I don't think it'll be Brennan in 15. I think you're probably looking at Danny King and Jan Kovac again.
Personally, I would, if I was Ipswich, I'd put Jan Kovac and Brennan in.
They have just got away from him quickly, though, so it could be Brennan, you know.
Other than that last place in his second ride, Brennan's unbeaten.
Richie Hawkins, though, he seems to love Danny King.
Well, them two play golf together. And that's why Danny King's been at Ipswich for so long.
And while we've just got the last break, we'll obviously cut away once the meeting is complete. We ain't going to stick around to hear what they say at the end because we don't really care. Do you want to just run us through what the rest of our week looks like, Palmer?
What's up, must you sort of cut out then, mate?
Do you want to run us through what the rest of our week looks like for this week?
So, this week for us, we've got a night off tomorrow.
Oh, lovely night off. We love a night
Lovely
off.
night off. So we've got a night off tomorrow, and we've got a double header on Wednesday. We're bringing you comments from, myself and Callum will be bringing you comments from Poole versus Workington, and then I can then mute myself up and start shouting and swearing as Dylan and Callum, sorry, Dylan and Alan bring you updates and coverage from Oxford versus Scunthorpe. And then Thursday, I believe we are just
we're just going to watch the meeting without.
We're just going to watch the meeting.
We're going to try something out.
So there's no watch along on Thursday. There won't be a watch along on Friday to Oxford versus Scunny versus Oxford. So after Wednesday, our next watch along will probably be Saturday.
Yep, Workington and Poole.
For Workington versus Poole. I doubt there'll be one on Sunday for the Championship riders. Because I do aim to be there.
And Callum will be there, so yeah, we'll probably not do that one. I mean, I'm free next Monday now if you want to do the first leg of Sheffield Bellevue as well. Or Bellevue and Sheffield, as it will be.
May as well, aren't we?
I mean, we've done the first leg of this one, so we may as well, and then we may end up doing the second leg at Sheffield on Thursday. It depends what our schedule looks like.
But at the moment, that's what we're looking like at the minute. Obviously, any changes will be mentioned on our page.
P45 for Palmer. What's he done now? And so yeah, that's the plan. Double header on Wednesday, Workington and Poole on Saturday, and then probably another pop-up Premiership watch along to Bellevue and Sheffield, which should be a good meeting actually. Joshy Pickering racing around Bellevue should be a fantastic watch along.
Hopefully, Mush.
Joshy Pickering's giving Alan nightmares after Friday and Saturday though. And yeah, like we say, it will be me and Alan doing Oxford and Scunny. Callum should be on around 7:30, 8 o'clock, so it may be me and Palmer for starters with Poole and Workington, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But in some way, shape or form, all of us will be involved on Wednesday, as long as the BSN feed holds out.
That's the one, Mush.
Alan, muddled up commentators on Wednesday. Alan, you've spent for 20 odd years muddling up life.
Ray.
Here's the Eurosport look ahead. Obviously, there's a Grand Prix on Saturday, which we're not watching along to, but we will be watching along to the meeting before it. We did toy with the idea of Grand Prix, but doing Workington then onto a Grand Prix is a long day in it, and obviously we've got Chineses to have.
That we have, because FLM.
We need that on a t-shirt for D&D Media.
Coming soon.
Obviously we can't hear the lineups. If Alan can listen to this part and tell us the lineups in the chat so we know before having to guess, that would be nice of him.
Ipswich got choice of gates, so I think Richie Hawkins would be a little bit silly not to put his riders off 2 and 4.
Yeah, the points from the gates. Gate 1 has scored 28, the most successful gate. Gate 2 has scored 20, Gate 3 16, and Gate 4 20. So, relatively even, I suppose.
And if that picture right there doesn't show you why Danny King's been at Ipswich all these years, nothing else will.
What a picture am I looking at?
Richie Hawkins in his Danny King beanie hat.
Oh, yeah. And that Ipswich, Tom off 1 and Jan off 3.
So Brennan off 1, Kvetch off 3, yeah?
Yeah. So that gives Leicester 2 and 4, and I'd imagine it'll be Max Frick and Samwell Masters. He's typing. It's always fun when Alan's typing because you never know whether you're going to get something useful or something a complete waste of time.
I dread to think.
He's stopped typing now. Stuart Dixon's probably just saying, yeah, well, track wasn't very great. Yeah. We'll go back to Leicester, yeah. Alan's typing again. I knew we'd find a use for Alan tonight. Knew we'd do it. Alan's asking Stuart to shut up. He does like a good interview, doesn't he, old Stu?
Well, you know, there's not many Scottish personnel in Speedway, and he's just Scotland's shining light.
You mean Alan's not the shining light of Scotland?
Alan is the shining light of Scottish shortbread eaters.
Shortbread.
And nice to see Phil Morris with doing some dirty work there.
Frick off 2, Sam off 4. The tractor guy has dropped the dirt on gate 3, so Dixon's not happy. I don't blame him, but it's all about the tactics, isn't it? It'll just be the tactics will even themselves out on Thursday when Stuart Dixon gets to be said tractor guy. So the lineup for Heat 15 with Ipswich taking 1 and 3. Riding in red off gate number 1 is Tom Brennan, and gate 3 in blue is Jan Kvek. Interestingly enough, both of the Ipswich pairing are guests. Make of that what you will. Gate 2 in white is Max Frick, and off the outside in yellow, Samuel Masters. It's been an okay meeting, this Palmer.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's better than what some tracks produce.
It's not
Not
been
as
too bad.
classic by all means, but
And I think Leicester on Thursday, you know, that if they can get away with this sort of deficit, bearing in mind they were 16 down at one point, as long as they don't concede a 5-1 here, I think it's all to play for on Thursday.
yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
So the lineup again for this Heat 15, going off the inside gate in red is Tom Brennan, gate 2 in white Max Frick, gate 3 in blue is Jan Kvek, and off the outside in yellow Sam Masters. Palmer, it is interesting though that the two guests are the ones that are going for Ipswich. Is that a lack of confidence in his own riders by Richie Hawkins?
Lack of confidence in his bestie, innit?
Yeah. Danny King's
but I mean,
asked for his hat back in the pits now.
I mean, to be fair, if I was Richie Hawkins, I mean, I do sometimes crack a bit more than half a smile from time to time. Not very often, but you know, they're the two that I'd have gone for personally.
Look, you can see what Stuart means. Look how slick gate 4 is and how much dirt there is on 3. But it's all about the tactics, and you know, obviously, it's not just the riders that can have an impact. Everyone can have an impact.
For Heat 15, and Sam Masters has made a beautiful gate there, and he's the one that currently has the lead. And now Frick joins him up the inside, and now what can Jan Kvek? Is it Jan Kvek in blue? Yes, it is Jan Kvek in blue. What can the Witches boys do as the Lions currently on a 5-1 heat advantage? These two Witches boys not giving up. Kvek going ever so wide there. If he ended up any further wider, he'd end up in Kings Lynn. These two Leicester Lion boys up front, they just need to team ride each other now. Need to look for each other, because one mistake from either one of them, Jan Kvek will be through. And after that bend, I think you struggle to see Jan Kvek getting anything from this. Tom Brennan a couple of miles behind. Oh, it's been a long night. But it's going to be a win for Samuel Masters.
Hot take, that's not enough for Ipswich. That points gap's not enough.
No, the Witches, I feel they needed a 3-3 minimum
Yeah, they needed
from that.
double figures for that, and they've not got it. That's definitely not enough to go to Leicester and feasibly put them to the sword.
But you never know. Ipswich could produce a surprise.
So,
Going to be an interesting second leg.
so the result of heat number 15 was a win for the rider in yellow Sam Masters, second in white Max Frick, and third in blue Jankovic. Palmer, do you just want to quickly run us through the runners and riders, and then we'll wrap up for this evening?
I'm just doing the totting up now, my old fruit.
And that was all done from the gate, really, from the Leicester boys. Stuart wasn't overly happy with 2 and 4, but he's got, Sam, who's a notorious gator, and Max Frick. I don't know what he's changed on that bike, but it's worked. And there was no movement or anything. It's just Sam got straight across Jankovic, and that was his race done. Max up the inside. Tom was a little bit stranded mid-track, and that was all she wrote, really. And it was a really good team ride from the 2 Aussies out in front.
It was. So the final official scores then for this evening for the Witches. Jankovic guessed at number 1, scored 10 points. Adam Ellis 6 plus 2, Keenan Rue 7 plus 1, Tom Brennan 9, Danny King 9, Ashton Bowden 3 plus 1, Dan Thompson 5 plus 2. For the Lions then, Max Frick 10 and 2 bonus, Richard Lawson 9 and 1, Sam Masters 10, Luke Becker 6 and a bonus, rider replacement for Ryan Douglas at number 5, Lewis Kerr 6, Sam Hagan 0.
And with that, I think that's about time for us to draw this to a conclusion for tonight. We'll be back on Wednesday. A little bit earlier, Palmer. I don't know what time it all kicks off, but we will be on a little bit earlier.
I think BSN kick off at 6:45, so I think if we say 7 o'clock.
Yeah, just to preview both so that we ain't rushing one or the other or anything like that. I think that's probably about right.
Yeah, I'll send you the graphics and everything tomorrow when I've done them. But yeah, from all of us here at Shoot Some Shale,